Hello everyone and welcome back to Closet Gaming. Today we are going to take a look at Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale Series, Episode 1. This newest episodic adventure game from Telltale Games allows you to experience one of the glorious adventures of the popular superhero team Guardians of the Galaxy and fight for galactic peace. It is available on Steam for €22.99, your regional equivalent. Let me start by saying this. If you're going to watch this review, at least some spoilers are unavoidable. I've tried to limit the amount of possible spoilers by cutting out the audio from the gameplay, but even then, at least parts of the story will definitely be spoiled if you watch the video. If you just want to know whether the game, and mainly the story, is worth the purchase, I strongly urge you to minimize the window in which the review is running. With that being said, it is time to start the review itself, and we'll start with the gameplay. If you have ever played any of the Telltale adventure games, the basic gameplay mechanics will come as no surprise for you. It isn't a first-person shooter. No, it is a point-and-click adventure game. It follows the cinematic route towards storytelling, laced with quick-time events that require you to perform some sort of action in a certain amount of time to do it correctly. In addition to that, when it comes to making decisions in conversations, you again only have a certain amount of time to make a decision which of the several conversation routes you want to go with, and based on which way you go, some of the future events will transpire a bit differently. Usually the impact it will have on the overall story arc won't really be that huge, but there are certain decisions that will have a heavy story impact. But otherwise, there really isn't much to say about the gameplay of nearly all Telltale games. It's just up to you whether the cinematic approach with a bit of button mashing put in places is something you enjoy, are willing to go through, or whether it's something you really can't stand. For me personally, it's the middle route. I'm willing to ignore it for the most part, to experience the story, if the story is interesting and good enough. So, on to the story. But how to do it without spoiling the story itself? Well, let's just talk about whether I thought the story was good, whether the writing was fun and enjoyable, and whether it did leave any sort of emotional impact on me. And let's start from the end. Whether it did leave any emotional impact on me. And yeah, to a certain degree, it did. I'm not gonna say I was crying my eyes out, or that I was laughing my ass off, but I did feel sad at times, and I did laugh and chuckle at different times. And that is because of the writing. I gotta say, I really enjoyed it as I felt it did convey the characters of the unlikely hero band very well. Though, the choices you do also vary in quality of the writing, especially based on whether you choose to roleplay the characters best to how you know they should behave based on their already established personalities, or whether you make choice based on your own personality. But overall, I thought the characters were written well, and most of all, were really fun. Yes, whether you will enjoy the writing is heavily based on whether you personally like the general theme of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think that is something well understood by most people anyway. The thing I was probably the least satisfied were the graphics. Not saying they're bad, far from it. What I didn't like were the character models. Yes, I know they look very different in the comic than they do in the movie. And yes, they're more akin to the ones in the comic, which will probably make most comic readers happy. But I felt like they were a bit lacking their own personality. Peter Quill and Gamora felt a bit lifeless, and we certainly haven't gotten our share of our beloved Groot in this game. On the other hand, Drax and Rocket were animated pretty well. But in general, the graphics were fine. But I wouldn't expect anything less from such an established developer and with this big of a brand. If there is one thing Guardians of the Galaxy have been known for, it's Peter Quill's taste in music. And I'm more than happy to report that the Telltale game follows this up very well. The tunes you will hear in the game are the same sort you can hear in the movies and the animated TV series, and give out that optimistic, cheerful atmosphere we'll come to expect from this franchise. So, in conclusion, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is another adventure game by Telltale. Their formula has been out there for a while now, and you can easily find examples how the gameplay works online. So the real question is the story worth it? And I've came to a conclusion that if you're a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy, or just like a bit of more comedic storylines, it is. If that is not your jam, there are other better suited adventure games, even from Telltale out there. But the good writing in this one does certainly make it a good choice for the fans of this particular genre. And I also want to mention that the timing on this release is done really well, because the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is soon to be released in cinemas. Well, that's it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video, and if you did, please consider liking it, subscribing to my channel, and comment if you had something you would like to add. See you guys later with more gaming content.